Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, this is Sarah Shazad. Welcome to CxO TV, a channel of CxO Global Forum, where innovation meets ideas for growth, share knowledge, and connect key thought leaders across industries. Joining us today, Mr. Mohammed Ali Qureshi, Chief Executive Officer at IBL Unisys. Very good evening, Mr. Ali. How are you today?
Good evening and assalamu alaikum everyone. I'm very well, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ali. I know you have a busy schedule, but still you have taken out time for us and be a part of our show. Thank you very much for that.
Pleasure, pleasure.
So, Mr. Ali, can you walk us through your personal journey? What motivated you to come to this line of work?
Um, well, by qualification, I'm a half chartered accountant, not coming from IT background
Right.
exactly.
Okay.
So during my articles, I found that boring. My apology to all chartered accountants, but this is what I personally felt. So I needed
Right.
some more adventure day to day. So I tried out IT. That is a long way back, late 90s. And I accidentally came into IT field, and I
Right.
started my education in masters with IT. Before that, I was with the accounting line.
So that was your passion, or you just picked it?
No, my friends helped me identifying what my passion could be. If it is not accounting, what it could be. So actually, my friends helped there that it could be the IT.
Right. Wonderful. So, it must have helped you a lot, like chartered accountancy, like from somebody from finance background and then IT. So maybe it's helping you a lot.
Well, lately it is absolutely helping with the role of Chief Executive Officer. The
Hmm.
bookkeeping, P&L, the overall organization health, especially the financials, are the more crucial part than knowing the technology. So
Right.
yes, in the later years, my financial background with the qualification is really helping me out. And probably that's a blessing, I think, to Allah for that.
So you are a weird boss. So the team must be on the toes. They don't have a
Um,
loophole to get away with anything.
I think the question goes to team, not to me.
I can
So
assume
yes,
that.
I am afraid so. Yes, correct.
Right, right, right. Wonderful. So, Mr. Ali, please tell us about IBL Unisys. How does it function?
So sure, let me just go through the brief history so that
Right.
the
Please.
question makes clear sense to the audience as well. The
Sure.
organization was formed some over 3 decades ago. It's nearly 34, 35 years. And Unisys is a US company, mainframe manufacturer coming from 1960s era.
Right.
So when the company was incepted 3 decades ago, it was a joint venture between IBL Group Pakistan and Unisys Corporation US till
Right.
2013 December. Starting 2014, we became a 100% owned Pakistani company associated with IBL Group.
Hmm.
So a long journey, but we take along our legacy from Genesis Corporation mainframe manufacturing experience. That is what actually distinguish IBL Unisys from the rest of the market. I
Right.
think there are only two mainframe manufacturers alive today. One is IBM and the other is Unisys. I would say unfortunately Unisys is more into services now than the hardware manufacturing. Uh,
Hmm.
Talking about today, we are now a true system integrator and
Right.
probably little distinguished as we just don't supply hardware and related software, but we also have started software development. Uh,
Right.
Initially, we are doing software customizations for the off-the-shelf softwares we sell, like
Right.
BMC, Avanti, and VMware and other software. Besides that, I think we have one of the most complete portfolio offering as far as we talk here in Pakistani market terms.
Hmm.
So, in terms of the install base or the market coverage, we are known as server storage and networking system integrator rather than software because that's our new venture.
Right.
We are spread across the country and proudly we have the most covered areas in Pakistan. We used to serve some defense sector as well sometime back. That is how we are even present at borders of Pakistan. Um, and we share a great legacy coming from Unisys with the perfect business blend of IBL Group today.
Right.
IBL
Right.
Group is the holding company. Under IBL Group, there are many other organizations, but IBL Unisys being the sole technology company. Uh,
Right.
we have started serving to IBL Group as well, by the way, as a customer
Okay.
internally, but our preference remains our external customers.
So when we talk about distribution, it's just IT based only.
Well, IBL Group is renowned as a distribution company.
Hmm.
Um, that is one of our organization. Then,
Right.
if I clarify, we have our flagship opco operation company is named as Searle Pharmaceutical, which is one
Right.
of the largest and fastest growing pharmaceutical company in Pakistan. So there are other brands like Habit, Market,
Okay. And the
IBL
Red Bull
operation.
also.
Sorry.
Red Bull also.
Red Bull was distributed by IBL till some time ago,
Right.
but that engagement is over. So
Right.
there
Right.
are other brands which we distribute, but that's a
Hmm.
separate company. So we
Okay.
operate as a very independent organization selling IT technology.
Right. That's a very good information for our viewers. It's good कि उनका भी एक recap हो गया है because we used to know that Red Bull जो है वो IBL distribute करता था.
Okay, so I lost you for a few seconds. If you
Right.
could repeat.
It's a good information for our viewers, which you have just explained that
Sure.
हमें ये पता था कि Red Bull जो है वो IBL distribute करता है. So now it's many things in the
Yeah,
portfolio.
Lindt chocolate is very famous. You find everywhere. That is also imported by and
Right.
distributed by IBL and many other brands. Uh, so yes,
Mm.
this history of the IBL group goes to over 100 years, where
Right.
Brits used to use IBL group as a platform in India to distribute cigarettes.
Right. Right. Wow, that's a, uh big, big profile, big portfolio, having
Sure,
a
it
lot of
is.
brands in the pocket. So, Ali, how a CIO background, like an IT background, and being CEO, how do you balance? Because for the same organization, you have an IT background, and then you are a decision maker also. So, how do you balance both roles?
Okay, if I could more complicate your question, so right now I am the group CIO for IBL Group as well. So,
Right, mashallah.
so I'm CIO as well as CEO for a vendor organization. So literally in one day I have to switch 180 degree every few minutes. So, but I think solid technical background, hands-on, with the, I would say, a vision with the futuristic technology, knowing that, plus educational background with the finance, probably that is a blend which really helps me to go with probably three functions at one time.
So, has it ever conflicted with the challenges if you face, or you just go through it smoothly?
No, there are certainly challenges, not just to me, but even to my dear fellows who are sometimes my competition from IBL Unisys and who are sometimes vendors
Mm.
for IBL
Yes,
Group.
true.
So that is a little confusing, but so far it is going great.
Right, wonderful. And I believe that. of responsibilities on your shoulder because having mm, so much of a pressure maybe at times and the decision making process and everything that makes it tough sometimes, I believe.
I would consider that as a sympathy. So yes,
Wow. Wow, great, wonderful. So, Mr. Ali, since IBL Unisys is a leading brand in Pakistan and you have been working as a business professional, how do you perceive changings in the country?
changes with respect to the technology.
Technology, overall economy, and the business market ups and the surge in the market?
Yeah, so it's indeed a good question, I would say. Uh, so political situation in our country has been not very consistent in the last few years, which
Hmm.
actually uh, impacts directly on technology side. So, but when we say industry, I would like to clarify that even today we don't have a clear definition as which businesses fall under IT industry.
Right.
So, for example, the hardware suppliers are not exactly defined but as far as outsourcing of our business is concerned, we had not been successful, I would say. However, that's the official statement. Unofficially, we find tons of software houses and freelancers who are doing work for the foreign countries. That's matter beside that how they collect the money. That is something else. But I think from development side, they are doing great work and delivering a huge work, I would say, which is not documented officially, so it is not quoted everywhere. But I can
True.
witness that. So I find that while officially from government side we may not be growing that fast, but as a matter of fact, practically we are growing rapidly. And I find it very surprising that top global companies for the software solutions, which includes artificial intelligence also, as well as telephony and other unique new industry line solutions, they are being developed fully or partially in Pakistan. So that's a good news.
Yeah.
However, we, as in officially from the government side, I think there still needs a framework to make it more comfortable for the foreign investors to invest here
True.
uh, and make everything as a formal process.
Hmm. Right, right. So, as we discussed, IBL Unisys is providing professional help in IT industries. What kind of transformation you think can be made to uh, access global brands through IT services?
So sure. From your question, I would just perceive that IT services includes the software services as well, right?
Yes,
Sure. So, first of all, as far as I talk about IBL Unisys, we are partnered with nearly 20 global companies. When you say
right.
global, so those are global companies that includes manufacturers from China, US, Europe, Russian territory, etc. I think the system integrator part, which is not really known to the world, that makes that technology accessible locally. So
Okay.
if we promote the system integration job, if we talk about like big names, we are hearing Systems Limited has been there in the uh, very good companies globally. They are being recognized. So one of their area is system integration. It's not just software development. So yes, that is
Hmm.
one of the areas which makes technology available to the local. technology companies or local consumers. So talking about future, where we are heading, it's all going to be distant experience, remote workers, virtual, everything virtual,
Hmm.
more as a service, less on-prem hardware, and I think this was meant to happen, but during COVID time, it was forcibly by nature, forcibly pushed to
True.
us that we have to adopt virtual technology. Moving forward, I think we are too much hearing about artificial intelligence,
Hmm.
which few people think that it's still under development, while who have some exposure to artificial intelligence. The
Hmm.
technology is already out and it's being used in production as well for mission critical areas,
True.
including defense. So not just commercial side, including defense. So if I map, just give you an example that as an IBL group employee, if distribution remains our main forte, uh, I see distribution business taking over by technology under AI head. So the distribution business also is going to be, I would say, drastically change.
Hmm.
There will be less warehouses, no more environmental control
Yeah. True.
issues,
True.
and more of electronic ordering and delivery channels, less
True.
human force. So I think next decade or so, it's going to be very transforming. Although the previous decade has also been very transforming, but we did not have yet experienced AI, which is, I think, is a big thing.
True that. True that. So, I already asked this question from many of our guests, and I would definitely ask that from you also. That do you think that AI will eliminate human element in next few years,
Not next few years.
or maybe it is
It's
it has
going to be
started
take
eating
some
jobs?
time. Yes, that is going to happen. When I was referring to warehousing, especially in the distribution business.
Hmm.
So just imagine right now there are human beings who are stacking the cartons for the distribution next morning, and there's a large warehouse with the stacked good items, and they bookkeep in which stack they have stacked which goods. So if we automate everything and there are robotic processes and robotic machines even who are stacking, no humans. So how do
True.
you classify this? I think there is a possible threat to humans from the jobs perspective.
Hmm.
So what I
True.
tell to some young boys coming into this field that if they have to come to IT, probably they should be getting ready for a war against machines. It's not
Yeah.
learning software code anymore because the more
Yes.
smarter, the more survival chances are. So yes, there is a virtual war ahead, and I think we should be fine. It's not that terrible. Still, I would say it's a bit distant.
Yeah, but we should be prepared for that. I mean, the young people who wants to come to IT, they should keep that in mind that that's going to be the future. So they should move to the right direction accordingly.
Well, I think boys or girls who are into college right now, they can only plan this out by only this phrase, nothing more, because nothing is known yet. So
Right.
what they should prepare for. However, one thing remains a global fact that people or human beings have to be more smarter in thought
True.
process than the machines.
True. Very well said. So coming back to IBL Unisys, do you think that it is actually helping people in Pakistan to overcome the challenges they are facing here in terms of the IT support and all that?
So if I could get your question correctly, probably you were asking that how IBL is helping our customers to overcome IT challenges.
Yes.
Sure. So as I said, legacy background with mainframe and then transforming ourselves every few years. We are a very credible organization because of two things. One is the technology partnerships with the global companies. We carry all the big names, one or two may be missing, but that's because of strategic thing.
Right.
The second strong aspect or pillar of the organization is services, post-sale services. Uh, this remains very credible across the country. Thirdly, I would say we are very choosy in doing business even with customers. It's very unique proposition. Usually, customer chooses vendors, but here
Okay.
at IBL Unisys, we first choose customers as whom to work with or with whom not to work with.
Right.
This is because we have to deliver quality and we have
Yeah.
to dedicate a handful,
So the
so
what
we
are you
need to
deliver?
secure.
True, true. That's wonderful. So, what are your future goals for IBL Unisys, if you would like to share with us, like expanding it or futuristically, if we talk about?
Yeah, sure. If we look at last 4 years, we have already expanded a big way, both in terms of our financial numbers as a company growth, as well
Right,
as our customer base. While technology keeps transforming or improving every year, I think that does not become the part of the strategy because without that we cannot survive. So I consider that as a day-to-day operational decision rather than strategy.
right,
Moving forward, we will be more focusing on software, which is our new initiative. We planned it out a couple of years ago. Right now, we have few products with us as well. One is being used internally for testing, and then we will probably be going commercial very, very soon.
right,
Um, Data science is probably our next engagement around which we are getting prepared. AI is somewhat related to data science as well, not exactly because AI is somewhat relates to the chip, hardware chip
right,
as well. So, but the software remains the core component. As I said, everything as a service is the new norm. So that is going to be delivered over software. So yes, while we keep growing with the hardware solutions, we are focusing very much on the software part as well.
right, right. That's wonderful. Inshallah, that your plans may succeed. And
Sure. Thank
lastly, I would like to know that what utility you see being a part of CXO Global Forum.
It's a good, I would say, networking platform, and honestly, probably I'm not very socializing kind of person, so I kept missing a lot of big names. But thanks to CxO Global Forum, because of this, I got connected to the people I should have met a long time back, and
Right,
also I keep meeting my professional fellows more often now, and
right,
keep seeing the new things, just like live discussions of yours that gives the new brilliant ideas and what is happening in the country and outside world. So I think it's a platform which, from coming from a technology background or any organization related to technology, should be very much thankful to CXO Global Forum.
right. Well said. That's the idea behind it, the connectivity on this platform. So, thank you very much, Mr. Ali. It was having a great discussion with you, and indeed, it's a pleasure. And we would definitely invite you once again in one of our shows. Thank you very much
Sure.
for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.